Welcome to 6 Reviews of Separation, where we put our useless movie knowledge to use for your entertainment. I'm Cody.
And I'm Kenji.
And today we're going to be connecting Paul Reubens to Channing Tatum. We already decided who was going to go first, and we're going to start with Kenji.
All right. Well, Paul Reubens was in Mystery Men with Hank Azaria. Mystery Men was directed by Kika Usher and was released in 1999 with a PG-13 rating. It had a bunch of actors. You had Ben Stiller as Mr. Furious, William H. Macy as a shoveler, Hank Azaria as Blue Raja. Even though there's no blue in his...
He's also not English.
He's not English. And he pilfers his mother's silverware to throw at people.
Sorry to see you so spoon.
And you also had Kel Mitchell, Jeanine Garofalo as Baby Bowler. You know, you had Tom Waits in there as Dr. Heller, Eddie Izzard as Tony P.
Yes.
Tony P.
Yes.
Yes.
That was gonna be one of my connections.
Eddie Izzard?
Yeah. I was gonna try and work him in there somewhere. And then I got like sidetracked and just started watching clips from his stand-ups for like 3 hours.
As you do.
Yeah.
There's a number of sets. Like, if you look at it, there's a number of sets in there that were used in Batman Forever. If you look at all the city sets, it's like Gotham without the neon.
Is it really?
Yes, Gotham without the neon. You know, the plot. Pretty much the plot is, you know, you have all these amateur superheroes trying to save the main superhero, Captain Amazing, played by Greg Kinnear, because he gets captured by Casanova Frankenstein. You know, that's one hell of a guy. He played by Jeffrey Rush, who was also Captain Barbossa in Pirates of the Caribbean.
With the deadly pinky nails.
With the deadly pinky nails, man.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and then they mess it up.
Who's the guy that plays Captain Amazing? What's his name?
Greg Kinnear.
He's been in so many different things, played so many different types of roles.
But usually he's an asshole.
Usually, but when he's not, he's...
I think one of my favorite roles was Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh my God! Yeah, he was the dad, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Oh, the scene when the cop finds all of the porn in the bag.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And then also it's based off the comic book Flaming Carrot.
Flaming Carrot.
Flaming Carrot.
I've got a few of those.
And the only two superheroes to jump from the comic book to the movie was the Shoveler and Mr. Furious. They actually replaced Flaming Carrot with Captain Amazing because they thought a Flaming Carrot would be too bizarre for moviegoers.
Have they watched their own movie?
I don't know.
Because there's a lot. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Whatever.
There's my connection.
So it's like loosely based off of it?
Yes.
They're like, we like these two guys, but, you know.
Yes.
Paul Reubens is the spleen, though.
The spleen.
I love it. Cursed by a gypsy for blaming her for farting.
I'd be the forever who yells it.
All right. My first connection is Paul Reubens was in Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams with Tommy Chong. Released 1981, directed by Tommy Chong, rated R, of course. Basically, the plot of the movie is they use an ice cream truck to transport and sell their weed. And actually, one of the facts that I had found out was that the ice cream truck was actually designed by a friend of Tommy Chong's who designed ice cream trucks.
Oh, man.
Like
that big bobblehead on top.
Yeah, but where it looks like the D is painted over in cream on ice creams and stuff. Like that's how the guy designed it. Like so they just like left it like that.
Right, that's good.
But Paul Reubens was in there. He played the hamburger man.
Hamburger.
Who they spend most of the movie trying to find because they're trying to get their money back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I took the money. I'm not sorry.
Hello, Mr. Lizard. Yeah, that's what it's about. It's they make and then end up losing millions selling a bad batch of marijuana that turns their users into lizards. And I say users and not people because there's a scene with a pigeon that's just kind of thrown in there with Sergeant Stadenko.
Yeah.
So the script for the movie was allegedly only 3.5 pages long.
I believe it.
The majority of the entire movie, it was storyboarded, and it was mostly like all dialogue
All
was just improvised.
yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense for any Cheech and Chong
Like
movie.
like one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when the boys are chasing those girls, and they think they see the car that's in the driveway. They walk up to the big guy, and there goes. And Cheech walks up and goes, "Hey, you want my big stick?"
Yeah, he's like we're driving around giving about big sticks.
Yes.
Another thing is psychologist Timothy Leary,
Yeah.
who at that time was an advocate of psychedelic
yeah.
drugs and stuff. He was the one that actually played the doctor in the mental institution that Chong brings to help him and gives them the key, which is those pills, and they go on an acid trip and
They
stuff.
go in there and
He's like, "This ain't no key."
Cheech Marin's I can't. I'm not ditches. My nuts.
Hey man, come back, scratch my balls. So yeah, my first connection is Paul Reubens was in Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams with Tommy Chong.
All right, that was a good one. All right, my next one was Hank Azaria was in The Birdcage with Nathan Lane.
Fucking love the Birdcage.
The Birdcage
That was on my
powerful.
first list that I was doing too when I was first working at
The
it. Man.
Birdcage was directed by Mike Nichols and released in 1996 with a rated R rating.
Really?
Yeah,
It's not that bad.
maybe it was too gay. I don't know.
Like I'm trying to think of any overuse of any swear words, and there wasn't really.
I don't really know. It was rated R though.
What year was it?
1996.
So it was probably too gay. Okay. Go on.
Had Hank Azaria playing Agador Spartacus. You're afraid
you-
of my Guatemalaness?
Are you afraid of my watermelonness? My natural heat. Armin, why won't you put me in your show? Go on.
You had Nathan Lane as Albert, Robert Williams as Armand
Auntie
Golden. Auntie Al. Gene Hackman as Senator Keeley. Yeah, Diane West as Louis Keeley. And Calista Flockhart was one of her first major stuff with Barbara Keeley, the daughter.
The daughter.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan Futterman as Val Goldman, the boy.
Okay.
I got blame. Basically it's like the boy, Val, meets the girl, Barbara, at college, and they fall in love and they want to get married. And
But she comes from like a
super
super
conservative senator.
and he comes from
He loves Rush Limbaugh.
yeah.
And so
in the Kennedys.
They love everybody, all the conservatives, and then you got the Goldmans from Florida that run a drag club and live above it.
Yeah, he was raised by his dad and his dad's partner and stuff.
So they had to bring him down there, and the whole shenanigans where they try to find Val's real mom. They get a hold of her.
Well, the whole reason, because at first they don't want to meet him. They
Right.
don't want to meet this guy's parents because they have all that controversy going on, where his
buddy got caught with an underage black prostitute.
yeah
Yes.
and they catch him trying to go out the back window and climb down the ladder just so he can get out of the house.
Yeah.
But he announces that they're planning for a wedding to try and get everybody's minds off of the prostitute and stuff.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they try to find Hal's mom and everything. Try and pass him off as a normal family.
Yep. And then Albert dons his wig, and
Yep.
the best part about that whole is at the end where Gene Hackman gets in drag, and his biggest thing is, I don't want to be dancing alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the only girl without a partner. So,
And by the way, man, he was the most, he was one of the most convincing drag queens at the end.
was.
When he spins around and he's got that wig on and everything.
even his chauffeur didn't know who he was. He just goes, go down the street and pick us up. He goes, not in your life.
Yeah.
But
I do like that, even though, they know what type of people they were and stuff, when he's saying he doesn't want to be the only girl dancing, or only girl not dancing with somebody, that Nathan Lane comes up and, takes his
Can I have
hand.
this dance?
Yeah. So, it just, it's kind of one of those be the bigger person moments.
right. One of the famous scenes when they're in the kitchen freaking out about the shrimp and the soup and stuff, and he actually falls. Robin Williams falls.
Yeah, when he's getting ready
Yeah,
to...
that wasn't scripted. That was total on accident. And
Yeah.
if you look in the back, you got Hank Azaria and what was his name? Dan Futterman back there, looking like they're trying not to laugh. So it was unscripted.
That's when Agador's in there like crying and stuff, and he's like,
"Don't think that's true."
like as he's walking away, he's like throwing it in there.
It's a gumbo.
Dude, he's one of my favorite characters in the whole thing.
I love Hank
and
Azaria.
I love Robin Williams and Nathan Lane and everything, but his character, like everything, the shoes,
You
like
work
I do not
hard
wear
for
the
the
shoes.
money.
I
I don't wear the shoes. They make me fall down.
yeah, it's everything. Like they gave him so many good lines. He
Yes.
was so fucking funny in it.
And another thing was Steve Martin was originally going to be Armand, and Robin Williams was going to be Albert. But then Steve Martin had scheduling conflicts, so he dropped out, and then Robin Williams wanted to play Armand because he was tired of playing flamboyant characters.
Yeah.
So he wanted to play more of a straight character.
Yeah.
So that's when Nathan Lane was cast.
Because Nathan Lane's like, I'll do anything.
Yeah. Because Nathan Lane wasn't out like back then, so it was like his first time actually play a gay character being a quality.
He's so versatile, and him like everything he does because he does so much on Broadway. So
Yeah.
when they have musical numbers and
That's
stuff,
where he originally is from, is
yeah.
Broadway.
So when they have all the musical numbers, like especially when you're running a drag club, there's so many musical numbers and stuff in that type of thing. It just integrated really
Oh, yeah.
well into it. But the whole thing is hilarious.
He did very good.
I love it. I love the. It's got I can't remember his name, but he played Pat in Heavyweights.
Yeah. I know you're talking
He
about.
played the counselor, camp counselor
He
Pat.
played the paparazzi guy.
Yeah, he was the one that was like following him and stuff, and like trying to figure out what was really going on and everything. But no, I loved it. I love that movie. I still watch it like at least once a month.
If it's on, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's required watching. You have to if you haven't. All right, so my second one is Tommy Chong was in Half Baked with Harlan Williams, released in 1998, directed by Tamara Davis and written by Dave Chappelle and Neil Brennan. Rated R. It's kind of like just your typical stoner comedy.
Yeah.
It's like when people talk about stoner comedies, it's like you got Cheech and Chong, Half Baked, and How High, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it's about a group of stoners who are trying to save their friend who went to prison for accidentally killing a police horse with junk food because...
Butternuts! Casey!
Buttercup!
Butternuts!
Butternuts! But he accidentally kills a police horse who's a diabetic by feeding him all the junk food that he went to get on the Munchie Run. So they try to save him because he's got like a $1 million bond to get out of jail. So they start selling weed that
Give me your fruit cup.
that Thorogood, Chappelle's character, steals from the place that he's a janitor at because they're doing like trials with marijuana and stuff like that. But they end up, what they don't realize is that where they're starting to sell stuff is actually another dealer's territory, and then they got to deal with that. Samson. Samson!
You guys must be the most dumbest motherfucking dude.
Why does he think that Mr. Happy is Jamaican? Oh, because I told him he was, B. So some of the facts that I got of it, that the only time that Jim Brewer was actually high while filming the movie was completely on accident. And it's because they had just wrapped filming for the day, and he went back to his trailer, and Chappelle had left him a bag of weed. So he's like, okay, we're done for the day. But immediately after he finished, he had somebody knocking on his trailer and told him that they had to go back to start filming the final scenes with Samson, where he gets arrested and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the guy that played Samson said he was done. He was going to quit the movie. He didn't want to do it anymore. They needed to wrap his scenes that day. So that's the only time that Jim Brewer was actually stoned throughout the entire movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, during one of his stand-up specials, he talks about it a little bit, and he says it took multiple takes, and literally the only line he had to do was when he gets knocked out by Jerry Garcia, and he stands over him and said, "Sucks to be you, man." That's the only line that he had, and he couldn't do it. And he's like talking about how he's like, bees suck, man. Bees really suck.
You got the famous fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool.
Actually,
fuck you.
I think it's the guy that would constantly grab the microphone and talk to Scarface, and he'd like turn around. He's like, "I'm right behind you, man." That guy that he's talking to is actually Neil Brennan, the co-writer.
Oh.
of Half Baked.
Well, that's cool.
And a couple other things that I found is that the time between the script being bought and the movie released was only 7 months, which is like, it's like crazy fast.
Yeah, that's fast.
But Chappelle also said what they had written is so different from what was made, because what they ended up making, in his eyes, was a pop movie for kids.
Yeah.
And the guy on the couch was actually inspired by Chappelle's his friend who was constantly crashing on the couch while him and Brennan were trying to write the script. So the guy was constantly like sleeping on the couch while they were trying to write, so they just wrote it into the movie. And then they ended up having Stephen Wright play him.
Hey, guy, you stick my dog? I don't know, man. I believe him.
I love the end of it. He's like, hey man, when you moving out? And he's like, I'll be fine. What you need to focus on right now is the heist. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple other facts here, and they're just small ones. Like the beginning of the movie starts with them as kids getting stoned and getting the munchies, and the studio wanted to cut that.
Right.
Because it's a bunch of kids smoking weed in an alleyway. But when they ran it by test audiences, the people loved it so much. Like, nobody had a problem with it. They just thought it was funny as
I want
hell.
to do that, man.
What, get a bunch of kids high in an alley?
I want to move to California and be like just professional test audience guy.
That would be cool.
Just go around just watching movies of the first drafts and stuff.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The shit that we find entertaining about movies would not help movies make it big.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't. It
Why
would
wouldn't
be
it?
like you totally leave that in. Then they release it, and then it's like, well, you're not getting an R rating. You're getting an NC-17
But
rating.
the dog dick in that scene was necessary. You know?
It really brought the scene together. The
Red rocket.
the red mixed with the other colors. It just worked.
Exactly.
No, it would be a cool job, but like we would be that one person in the test audience that it just wouldn't like. It would just. I think it would throw off what they were looking for.
I still want to do it.
We're not the general audience. We're the sub audience that sits there and notices all the shit that we probably weren't supposed to.
That would help.
Yeah. I mean, case in point is going to be my next choice. So, my next, or yeah, is that all you had?
That was yours.
Was it mine?
What?
Where we are? Yeah, Half Baked. Your turn. Hey, I was on Half Baked. So there's my excuse.
Are you half baked now?
Don't fucking worry about it. Just go on with your goddamn choices, and then I'll
right.
come back and I'll fix myself.
Fix yourself.
Mentally, I'm gonna be quiet for a minute and kind of like center myself.
Okay.
Go on.
All right, now mine. Next one. Nathan Lane was in Austin Powers Gold Member with Michael Caine. You don't really remember much.
Oh yeah, I do.
He was
no,
there
I
for
do.
one scene.
I do.
I don't think. He was,
Oh my god.
I can't even see where it's credited anywhere about it, but it was him.
It might be one of the ones where they're not credited.
But he was in there.
Because like Ben Stiller's Hal, the guy that works at the old folks home in
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore,
Yeah, he wasn't
he's
there.
not credited for that either.
It
that happens a lot.
It was directed by Jay Roach. It was released in 2002 at PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Michael Caine and Nigel Powers, Mike Myers, Austin Powers, and Dr. Evil,
And Fat Bastard.
and Fat Bastard,
And Gold Member.
and Gold Member. So, yeah. And
It's like a damn Eddie Murphy movie up in here.
Then you had Seth Green as Scott Evil. That's where he started losing his hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Vernon Troy. Vernon Troyer was Mini-Me.
Yeah.
And Fred Savage was in there as number 3. Mole.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Mole,
That was awesome.
But,
I love seeing those child stars just pop back up.
Then you have Beyonce in there as Foxy Cleopatra, which that's where you get the Nathan Lane coming in, where Foxy wants to talk to Austin, but she has to talk through Nathan
Yeah,
Lane.
they need a buffer. So
They
he
need
just
a
sits there.
buffer.
He just sits there and he literally just lips along what she's saying, and he does it so well.
He does, and he gives the attitude. Like,
Yeah, he's and then the fucking kiss.
Oh.
The kiss at the end. He's like, my mama wanted the whole beehive and stuff. And he's like kissing on Austin Powers' hands and stuff like
he's
that.
all behave. So, the director's first cut of this movie is like 3 hours long.
I'd watch it.
I would.
Every goddamn minute of it.
Especially with Gold Member on there. Oh, save me. Save me. I'll put...
Save me from myself. Keep my skin box.
And, during the Hard Knock Life rap part,
Yeah.
like Dr. Evil's, is a jumpsuit. The number was 00001, and Mini-Me was 00018.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I never noticed
because
that.
he was 1/8 of Dr. Evil's size.
I never noticed. That's fucking hilarious. I love the music number, the Hard Knock Life music number. It's fucking, and like I like how he used that to basically like brainwash all the inmates. He's like, after it ends, he's like, "You're gonna start to riot tonight." I'm like, "Yes, Dr. Evil."
And like one of the good parts in there when
It was
Scott,
Debo,
yeah,
the guy that he's like, "Why should we listen to you?" Sorry, go on.
when Scott Evil's actually dancing, that part where he's dancing is like he's going bald and stuff there at the end.
At the end where he like starts Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Like,
That was actually him just goofing around in between takes.
Was it really?
And they had kept recording, so they liked it. They just kept it in there.
So they basically like just had his little like dancing fit, and they're like, "This is perfect."
Pretty much. That's a Scott Evil right there. So yeah, and yeah, that's mine.
That's awesome. My next connection is Harlan Williams was in Freddy Got Fingered with Rip Torn. That's the other choice I was talking that I made. It's Freddy Got Fingered, and I'm starting to notice kind
People
of.
hate Freddy Got Fingered, but I love it.
Fucking love Freddy Got Fingered.
It's great. I mean,
it's amazing. There's so many like oh my. It's just basically they gave Tom Green a budget to just make a movie, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And then they give him shit about it. It's like you knew what he was going to do.
right.
Like you can't be surprised by any of this.
Oh no.
But anyways, so Freddy Got Fingered, released in 2001, rated R. It was directed by Tom Green. The plot is basically a cartoonist moves back with his parents after moving away at the beginning.
Where's your car at, Freddy?
Where's your LeBaron?
Where's your LeBaron?
There's only one LeBaron here. There's only one LeBaron here, Freddy. Where's your LeBaron? Which I had. That was my first car. Was a Chrysler LeBaron. I just want to point that out. But he moves back to his parents to try and come up with new ideas for his cartoons because he's told when he goes out to California and stuff that his ideas suck. And he's living with his parents until his dad starts demanding that he leaves. So he starts spreading rumors during a family therapy session that his dad molests his little brother Freddie, and he tells him that they finger him. And Freddie is played, I can't remember his name, but it's the dude from American Pie.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Calls him Shitbreak.
Yeah.
in American Pie. That's his brother, and he's like almost 30 in the movie. So he's like, he fingers my little brother Freddie. So then they end up like taking his brother away.
Even though he's like 30.
Yeah, and with that's.
Are you little Freddy?
Yeah.
I'm Freddy.
During that scene, if you look in the background, the medical show that he was watching, where they're doing like a procedure on the TV and stuff, that was actually them removing one of Tom Green's lymph nodes from when he had testicular
cancer.
Yeah. Like it was the actual footage from his surgery.
Oh, yeah.
That they had him watching on there.
I watched that special he made on
Yeah,
MTV back in the day when I was there.
the
whole
cancer
cancer
special.
special.
Yeah, the Tom Green cancer special. So when Green showed up to accept his 5 Razzies that he won for it, he brought his own red carpet and then played a harmonica solo until they had to physically drag him off stage, which is fucking phenomenal. That is amazing.
Would you like some sandwich?
It's amazing, dude. Like, cause I hear about people winning Razzies all the time, and they all like you'll hear about the ones that were good sports about it. You'll hear about the people that like they just didn't show up.
Yeah.
But to show up with your own red carpet,
Yeah.
and then to play a harmonica solo, until security drags you off the stage at the Razzies,
Yes.
is just like
They don't have like the Oscars where the music just starts playing. And
No,
cuts
because
you
he
off.
started playing the music. But it's just it's completely Tom Green.
Yes.
All the skateboarding that his character does throughout the movie is actually Tom Green doing the skateboarding, even though the studio didn't want him to do the skateboarding because they didn't want the star of the film getting hurt and shit, and then they'd have to stop production and then more money and all that shit. But yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, he had his paralyzed girlfriend who liked being whipped in the legs, got her off.
Sorry, I've never caned anyone before. He like smacks her in the fucking face with it and stuff. But yeah, they had like there were quite a few cameos. I think that's one of Shaq's earlier movie cameos too.
You should have lots of sex, Mom.
Like,
With
go
big black men.
big black basketball players. And then they show his mom in bed with Shaq, and he's talking about getting his nipples pierced for her and everything.
Then he finally sells the show for $1 million and wastes it all to go to Pakistan with his dad.
Well, not all of it went to that.
We get some jewels.
He got jewels.
I got jewels.
I got jewels for you, Betty.
I just want to suck your cockboard.
But he also rented the helicopter for no reason, and then he basically goes in, he sleep darts his dad, cuts off the section of the house that his bedroom's in, takes it to Pakistan, and loads it on the back of a truck and just starts driving it through Pakistan.
You know why he went to Pakistan?
Because his
dad,
dad,
early in the movie,
his
he
dad
mentions Pakistan.
His dad said, makes a mention of if he was a kid in Pakistan, he'd be sewing soccer balls.
Yeah,
because when his dad wakes up and asks what he's doing, he's like, "Let's go sew some soccer balls, Dad." It's also, I think in this movie he masturbates two different animals. One is a horse, and then one is an elephant, which he uses to blast his dad out of a tent in Pakistan with. So
Animal semen's always funny. I don't care.
hey, it works. All right. What was the Van Wilder?
Van Wilder.
There's a whole scene about dog semen. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got. If you haven't seen Freddy Got Fingered, just fucking watch it.
It's good.
It's
good.
funny. It's a funny movie.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Michael Caine was in The Dark Knight with Gary Oldman. Do not Google Gary Oldman without the R.
I mean,
I had my nephew do that one time.
I mean, if you want to.
The Dark Knight was directed by Christopher Nolan and was released in 2008. And it was rated PG-13.
You're killing the production team.
Gary Oldman played Commissioner Gordon, you know. Michael Caine played Alfred. Christian Bale played Bruce Wayne, Batman. You had Heath Ledger played Joker. Aaron Eckhart played Harvey Dent. Maggie Gyllenhaal played Rachel, and you all had Morgan Freeman playing Lucius Fox. You know, it's just what to say about The Dark Knight that's been said about The Dark Knight. It's like one of the best superhero movies ever.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better Batman ones.
And if not the best Batman one. But
at least from the Nolanverse.
Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, the plot is, you know, Joker's trying to take over Gotham City.
Joker's just trying to Joker.
Joker's just gonna Joker.
Trying to make everyone kill themselves or go after each other. He's just doing his thing.
You know, how everybody bitched about Heath Ledger being cast as a Joker at the time, I remember. And then you know, you saw a movie, he was the Joker. I mean, he really got in that role. He actually did a diary of the Joker.
Yeah, he did that with a lot of roles. Mm-hmm. He would like write diaries as the characters to try and like get into the mindset of them and stuff.
And you know, like during the whole thing, he like lick his lips. Mm-hmm. That was actually Heath Ledger trying to keep the prosthetics of the scars.
Works.
Yeah,
it works.
And he just added that into the Joker's repertoire.
Yeah,
you know?
it works.
You know, and
for
like
his Glasgow smile that he's got.
Yeah, because you know he did the makeup himself. Like he put it on, and then you can see it in some scenes. He still had white paint on his fingers. He wanted that so you could see, you know, he did it himself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like he was so shocking sometimes. Like the very first scene with him and Michael Caine.
Yes.
He walks in that party that they were having for Harvey Dent. Caine had dialogue, but he was just so...
It freaked him out.
Yeah.
Like, because it was the first time he's seen it. He busts through, and he just forgot to say anything.
And they loved it. So
and they just left it.
They kept that in.
So if you actually watch that scene and you look for Alfred in the background, you can see the look on Kane's face. It's a genuine reaction to the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It's fucking awesome.
And they also, I believe, that was like the very first one that had the big IMAX cameras that were... just starting to come around, and they actually smashed one. Like one of the 3 cameras in the world, they smashed one during one of the chase.
Of course.
Scenes. And I can't remember how much it was, but they smashed that thing.
It's a Nolan movie. It's probably no big deal.
Well, yeah, that's my one for that one. There's not really much comedy about The Dark Knight.
Yeah, but it definitely, I think that movie is the reason that DC movies have taken the turn that they've taken.
They try to go dark.
Yeah,
instead of Marvel, it's more all it's light.
Yeah, it's closer to being more campy and stuff like old DC movies used to be.
Yeah,
I think it's because they had so much success with The Dark Knight that they're like, well, we just got to do this for everything. It's
Everything
like,
can be gritty.
You don't. You don't
No.
have to.
You don't.
I mean, it worked, but you don't have to do it for every damn movie.
Like, look at Aquaman. That wasn't that gritty or dark, really.
But the problem is they shot it as if it were.
Yeah, but it didn't come off that way.
Exactly.
It's
So
weird.
it was definitely odd. But
But
that's all.
it's no Martha.
Why did you say that name? I like the thought of a fight ending just because it's like, you got the same, your mom's name was my mom's name? All right, we're cool. All right, so my next connection is right here. I was like, nope, I got it. Okay, I'm good. As I was. Rip Torn was in Dodgeball with Justin Long.
Are you a fourth big now?
The fourth baked? Like a quarter baked. Released in 2004, rated PG-13, directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber.
Gerber?
Thurber. I think I nailed it.
Looks good to me.
The plot, it's a simple like underdog story type plot. It's trying to save Average Joe's gym from closing due to their competitor Globo Gym by starting a dodgeball team to try and win prize
We're
money to
winners,
stay
and we
in
know
it. So, a few things about it. The scene where they first start training when Rip Torn's doing the if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're rubber wrenches and stuff.
Yeah.
But the first one that he actually chucks at Justin Long split his fucking eyebrow open.
I believe it.
Because he fucking whipped that thing at him. So the first time Justin Long, like, when the first take they took, when he threw it, he actually split his fucking eyebrow open. So, like...
He got blasted in that movie so many
Yeah,
times.
I know. The one scene where... Because, I can't remember her name, but the girl that... The lawyer, I think?
Yeah.
But when she's, like, playing for Average Joe's and, like, that's Ben Stiller's wife.
Yeah.
And when he, like, pegs her in the face with the ball, he actually didn't mean to hit her that hard. And there's a thing I was reading online where he said it actually started a fight for the rest of the day because he, like, hit her in the face. He's like, but, yeah. So the, let's see, the unrated DVD contains a fake commentary.
Yeah.
Where Ben Stiller and I'm spacing on his name because I didn't write it down.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Who are you talking about?
The main character, man.
Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn. Jesus. Yes. I know who I'm
This
fucking
happens
talking-
in real life, everybody.
I know
This ain't an act.
I know who I'm fucking talking about. But Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn basically get into a fake fight during the commentary because Vince Vaughn and the director were drinking, like waiting for Ben Stiller to get there. And Ben Stiller's like 20, 30 minutes like showing up for the commentary, and they get into a fight and they storm out, and the commentary cuts out and is replaced for the commentary for There's Something About Mary.
That's great.
I got it. I got it out. I got
job.
it out.
Good
All right,
job.
all right.
Good job.
I got one more. Is that in August 2017, ESPNU changed its name to ESPN 8, the Ocho, and they actually showed obscure sporting events,
I would watch a
including
channel like that.
yeah, including dodgeball tournaments.
There's
So,
sometimes very slow days in sports where you turn on ESPN. There's championship juggling.
I love that shit.
There's championship.
I look like
cornhole. It's
yeah,
like,
I remember it was like last year. It was during the World Cornhole
yeah,
Championship.
the collegiate world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we were
Texas.
yeah.
Against like
Love
Texas
it.
Tech. It's like
I love that shit. That shit's hilarious. And it's funny because you can definitely see who takes it serious
Yeah.
and who doesn't. Because you'll have people that have like their sponsors on their shirt, but then you'll have a dude that's like in cargo shorts with flip flops. But yeah, so that's my connection. Is that Rip Torn was in Dodgeball with Justin Long, and I love that movie.
that movie's. I watch that movie all the time. I told you that story. No, I can't tell it on TV on the about. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
Well, now I'm gonna have to cut that whole part out.
No, it's good.
It's good. No, it's not because we're gonna have to answer some goddamn questions.
So I'll answer them in the comments.
Okay, there you go. Ask him.
Ask me about my story. How about Jesus stole my girlfriend? Okay.
It's a true story. I know what he's talking about. Go on.
Gary Oldman was in Hannibal with Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
Okay, I kind of cheated on this one because I have two Hannibal Lecter movies in this list.
That's fine.
But I know. But it's Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, Julianne Moore as Clarice. I liked what's her face? I'm spacing now.
Yeah. No. Go.
And
Go ahead.
Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman as Mason Vigor, which if you look at him, you can't tell it's him.
Dude, he's like that in so many movies.
Yeah, he's like the most versatile actor.
He's been in so much stuff that you weren't aware that he was in.
Right.
It's awesome.
And here he's like that guy that had his face cut off by Hannibal Lecter and fed to his dogs, and he's like,
Yeah.
It's so weird, man. It's actually based on the third book in the series of Thomas Harris Hannibal Lecter movies, books. I mean, they've all been movies, but he had Red Dragon. It was in 1981. You had Silence of the Lambs in '88. Then you had Hannibal in '99 and Hannibal Rising in 2006.
I like Hannibal Rising.
There's actually a different ending from the book. Spoiler alert if you haven't read the book. I have. But there's a different ending because you know how in this one, he chops his own hand off and leaves. You have that scene where he's feeding that little boy brains on the... Yeah. But in the book, him and Clarice actually sit down and eat the dude's brains together, and she actually becomes his lover.
Really?
Yes.
That would have been amazing.
Yes.
I would have much rather had that for an ending.
Yes.
That's awesome.
But yes, they actually become lovers there at the end of the book, and that Barney that he actually got money from selling all of Lecter's stuff. Mm-hmm. He actually sees him like in an opera house in like Venice, and he's all scared. He tells him and his woman, "We need to get out of here."
Yeah.
So because he might recognize him.
Because he was like stealing all the shit and selling it off to collectors and stuff. Yeah.
But they actually become lovers.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
No, that's good.
All right. My next connection is Justin Long was in Accepted with Jonah Hill. 2006.
I love the movie.
I'm really noticing a trend with my list. Rated PG-13, directed by Steve Pink. Basic plot is to avoid telling his parents that he was rejected from every college. Long's character sets up a fake college, but because Schrader, his friend who set up the website to try and make it look more legit.
I'm a shithead, are you?
I am a shithead. But when he set up the website, the button to apply, it actually sent out acceptance letters to a bunch of different people. So now they got to actually come up with a school.
Yeah.
But so they end up coming up with the South Harmon Institute of Technology. They turn an old dilapidated mental hospital into a college.
Yes.
And stuff, and get it all set up just in time for everybody to show up for their first day. Couple facts about the movie. Schrader, Jonah Hill's character, says that tells Long's character that James Garfield wore the hot dog suit with pride.
Yeah.
But a cool fact I found out was that in reality, Garfield graduated roughly 14 years before hot dogs were invented.
Oh.
So, no, he didn't. Long's parents were actually named Jack and Diane after the Mellencamp song. And the other thing I have is that director Steve Pink also directed Hot Tub Time Machine.
Now I love that movie. I have that Blu-ray, and I have a shirt that says South Harmon Institute of Technology on it.
I love it.
And,
Their mascot's the sandwiches.
So you're the shit sandwiches.
Yep.
And it's like the one guy in there that like, what'd you get fired for? Making a shrimp slushy. I was hungry and thirsty.
Glenn. Because they have the Glenn Watts.
Yeah.
And the dude's like the one dude from the Harmon school, the actual school, because they're pretending to be a sister school for him. He's sitting there, and he's like sitting there eating the Glen Watt, and he's like just chewing with his mouth open. And the guy's like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "I'm eating a wad, man." Can I come in? No.
They're standing on the top of the school when everybody's there. Goes, "Hey, there's my ex-girlfriend. You broke my heart."
Some political crap. I got a 0 on the SATs. You know you get points just for writing your name.
What?
I think that's the first time I seen a Sofa King shirt cool. Like a Sofa King cool T-shirt.
Yes.
And I fucking wanted one. And I still haven't got one.
And that part where Jonah Hill like screams like a girl when
like,
what the hell was that?
It'd be really great if you didn't tell anybody that was something like that. Lewis Black's part was actually wrote specifically for Lewis
Oh, I
Black.
love Pimps and Whores! Pimps and Whores!
And he only uses the word fuck twice.
Yeah.
Because
That's right, rated PG-13?
Yeah, yep, rated PG-13. So just enough times.
Yes.
Like the max amount of times.
All right, my next one, Anthony Hopkins, was in Red Dragon with Ray Fiennes. Ray Fiennes. Red Dragon was directed by Brett Ratner and released in 2002 to rated R. So it's actually based on the very first book.
It's the one with the hands, isn't it?
No. I mean, what do you mean hands?
The guy that...
This is the one I had the tattoo of the Red Dragon on.
Yeah, yeah.
What hands are you talking about?
Oh, wait, never mind. That was the South Park episode of it. Go on.
Yeah.
Do you see? Do you see?
Anthony Hopkins played Hannibal Lecter again. Yeah, Edward Norton as Will Graham. You know, Ray Fiennes as Frances Dollarhide. Emily Watts played Reba, the blind chick that was his love interest. Mm-hmm. And Harvey Keitel played Jack Crawford. You know, Ray Fiennes actually gained 15 pounds of muscle to play Dollarhide. Because if you look, yeah, he's like ripped. Like when he takes his shirt off, and it took him like 8 hours to do the back art for him.
Yeah.
And it's like he's ripped.
So he's like, if I'm going to have to show it,
I'm going to
make it look good.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like
it would have been more disturbing if he wasn't.
Right.
I'm just saying.
It's like if you look closely, like the blind chick has a watch on that's not Braille. And it's not one. It's not an on Mac one either. It's not a digital. Like you can push it and tell you time. No, it's just a regular one.
Okay. A weird detail to overlook, but go on.
I saw it the first time I saw it. I was like, why is she wearing a watch? It's like
it's just an accessory, okay?
It's like when they on Candid Camera, when they pranked Stevie Wonder, they pointed out the cameras. Why'd they have to hide the cameras?
Just keep going.
There's also another error in there, because you know how Will finds out how Dollarhide's killing people is by their videos.
Yeah.
He's going through videos, and there's a VHS tape of Mrs. Doubtfire in there. Which this is supposed to be a prequel to Silence of the Lambs. When Silence of the Lambs was released in 1991, Mrs. Doubtfire don't come out till 1993. So why is there a VHS of Mrs. Doubtfire in there?
Maybe they got an early cut.
I don't know. But yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's mine right there.
No, the thing I was mixing up is when they did a parody episode with South Park for Red Dragon where Cartman gets kidnapped because he thinks he's psychic, and he's trying to help him solve murders. And he's like, I see fried chicken and ice cream. My God, they're making a fried chicken sundae. And like the thing is, the killer in there collects everybody's left hand and stuff. So that's where I fucked up, because there's like a wall of hands.
Also, like,
and that's when the cop's like, these are all right hands. He's like, hold on a minute.
And you know that part where Philip Seymour Hoffman is glued to the chair?
Yeah.
He actually wanted to be glued to the chair. So they had to like solve it to get him off there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And like there's actually a stuntman in that wheelchair as it's burning. It ain't a dummy. There's actually a real guy in there.
Yeah.
And when he got down, they had to like fire extinguish him when he got down there. But there was a real guy in there.
He didn't have to glue himself
down.
No. Okay. Because like, can you imagine being a stuntman and finding out the actor that you're doing stunts for? It's like, by the way, we have to glue you to the chair because he wanted it.
Yeah,
like,
well, because Philip Seymour Hoffman was one of those
huge method actor.
Yeah. You know,
huge method actor.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Which yeah. I would categorize Tom Green as a method actor too.
He's just a method individual.
He methodly lives. So is that all you got?
That's all for that one.
That's Red Dragon. Mm-hmm. All right. So my final one is Jonah Hill was in This Is the End with Channing Tatum. Because I figured
watched that last night.
I figured if I was going to end my list with Channing Tatum was going to be a gimp. Released in 2013, rated R. Danny McBride's bitch. Directed by Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen. About my notes for the plot says it's about the 6 people you always see in Seth Rogen films. They're stuck in James Franco's house after a party.
Oh,
that
shit's all over this
that
place.
they were having. That's interrupted by the apocalypse, and everybody's basically playing a parody of themselves.
Like Michael Cera.
He actually, they were
Michael Cera.
gonna have him just basically be like the Michael Cera that we see in movies and stuff, but he didn't want to be.
Right.
He's tired of it. He's tired of like he didn't want to keep being typecasted and stuff, so he told Rogan to just like
Let girls
do
give him
whatever he
head.
wants.
He's like, "Want you spot?"
And when who is it? Is it Rihanna that he slaps on the ass?
I think, and he told her to just slap the hell out of him.
During shooting, all of the fake slaps just weren't believable because they were in such a confined space. He asked her if he could actually slap her ass, and she said only if she could actually turn around when she's supposed to smack him and smack him. So that's what they did, and she just like slaps the fucking shit out of him. But no, Michael Cera, the only condition he had, because like he totally loved the part that was written for him. He wanted to be an asshole. He wanted to do something different. The only condition he had was the brightly colored windbreaker that he's wearing. He wanted to wear that. That was his only condition, is that he got to wear that windbreaker.
Hey, everybody's got their own.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's actually my first fact, is that he demanded that he could wear the bright, like yellow and multicolored windbreaker during filming. Otherwise, he'd do what they wanted.
Right.
Evan Goldberg made a game out of directing it by seeing how many actors he could get to say, no, I can't do that. Like making suggestions to stuff people did on camera. And the only two people that he wasn't able to get to say no to was Franco and Rogan. Which, of course, yeah.
Of course.
Like, they'll fucking do anything. But those were the only two people in the movie that he couldn't get to say, no, I can't do that, when asked to do something on camera. Goldberg also said that about 85% of the movie was ad-libbed, including when Jonah is asking for a bite of the Milky Way, and the rest of the group joins in talking about how to split it up and who should get what. That entire thing was not in the script.
Dude, that was genius right there.
It's fucking hilarious.
Like my favorite part is the end where, like, oh, hey, what's your wish? And all of a sudden the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
show
that
up.
actually wasn't gonna. That was done at last second.
Yeah.
Because it was just gonna end, like, and that was gonna be the end
Like,
of it.
what's your wish? And then it just goes black.
Yeah.
Y'all. I like that they got the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
Because
because and it's the reason they did that. It's a throwback to the beginning when they were talking, and like the Backstreet Boys, "I Want It That Way's playing in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The original ending wasn't going to have anything to do with the Backstreet Boys and stuff like that.
that whole bit where they're talking about not raping Emma Watson, but she hears them talking about raping Emma
Yeah,
Watson.
yeah.
No, we're not going to rape you.
Daniel Radcliffe was offered a role in it like way early on,
Yeah.
but he had to turn it down because of other stuff that he was doing. But they didn't bring her in like in place of him or anything like that. She was cast for something else later on in the movie. And the beginning, when Seth's character is going to pick up Jay from the airport, the clothes that he's wearing in that scene, you can see him wearing the same exact outfit in his cameo in Paul.
Yeah.
Because he shot those back to back.
Oh.
He did that, and then he went to go film the part at Paul, and he just didn't change his clothes.
Oh.
So, like, I don't know. Like, does that count? Does that count as a same universe crossover?
Nah.
I just think it's a lazy actor. Like, it's fine.
It's fine.
But no, if you like Seth Rogen films, it's fucking funny.
I think it's more than a Seth Rogen film. It's an everybody film.
When Blockbuster started closing down, there was a story of that one Blockbuster that the last film that they rented out was This Is the End. And that's my last fact about that.
All right, my last one is Ralph Fiennes was in Hail Caesar with Channing Tatum. You ever seen Hail Caesar?
No.
You haven't watched many Coen Brother movies, have you?
Yeah, I have.
How many?
I don't know. But I've seen them. Look, man, like, where you're like, all right, I like this specific person, I got to watch all their films. Like, I kind of just take in a spattering of everything.
The Coen Brothers, you know, Taika Waititi's in there. That's one. Yeah, there's many directors I love.
Yeah.
So, but
I take a little bit of everything.
Hail Caesar was directed by the Coen Brothers, Joel and Ethan. It was released in 2016 and rated PG-13. It had a ensemble cast. Josh Brolin was Eddie Maddox. Ray Fiennes was Laurence LaRue. Scarlett Johansson was Deanna Moran. Jonah Hill was Joe Silverman. George Clooney was Bard Whitlock, and Channing Tatum was Bert Gurney. Basically, it's like a period piece from the 1930s, like 40s Hollywood, and where the studio basically ran this town. So like police would show up, they pay them off to keep the stories out of the tabloids and stuff.
Right.
And it's they're like. It's like during the rise of communism and stuff, and like it must have been late
Also,
40s.
so during the Red Scare and
Yeah,
stuff.
kind of
where
the
they were
Red Scare, where-
that's when they were worried about actors and stuff.
A
Being
lot of
communists and shit.
screenwriters got blackballed because of they're putting communism into their
Blacklisted?
blackballed.
Does it mean the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Whatever. Go on.
So
I'm just trying to start an argument. Go ahead.
you're like, is that Tom there? Right?
You go fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you. Go on.
But you know the whole thing is like this whole group of screenwriters that have been blacklisted. They like kidnapped the star of the new Hail Caesar movie about.
They did do a lot of movies like that back then, didn't they?
Yeah, and they're trying to convert him into being a communist. And they had like a head communist, but you never know who it is till the end of the movie. Which spoiler, it was Channing Tatum. And he was this young buff actor who's actually in this sailor musical, and they actually have the musical number there.
So you gave him kind of a badass role to end on, and I made him a gimp.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the ending of him is actually he's on a boat with a dog and a briefcase full of money going to a ship to defect to Russia. And he drops the money. Kept the dog. Frances McDermott was also in it. She's actually Joel Cohen's wife. Okay. She's been in 8 movies of theirs, like Burn After Reading and Fargo. It's actually the movie company in there is called Capitol Studios, Capitol Pictures, and it's actually in another Coen Brothers movie, Barton Fink, where he went there to write movies for it. And they also, like in the movie, Eddie Maddox, is Josh Brolin's character, actually has a meeting with religious leaders in this room to see if Hail Caesar is offensive to any of them.
Yeah.
And it's actually in the Wallace Berry conference room, and Wallace Berry was the actor that Barton Fink was writing a movie for in Barton Fink.
Okay.
So Coen Brothers movies connect.
So kind of like how Tarantino connects his universe together and stuff through movies. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
So is that it?
Yep.
All right. So you want to go ahead and do a rundown of your list real quick?
Sure. Paul Reubens was in Mystery Man with Hank Azaria. Hank Azaria was in The Birdcage with Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane was in Austin Powers and Goldmember with Michael Caine. Michael Caine was in The Dark Knight with Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman was in Hannibal with Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins was in Red Dragon with Ralph Fiennes, and Ray Fiennes was in Hail Caesar with Channing Tatum.
All right. All right, my list is Paul Rubin was in Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams with Tommy Chong. Tommy Chong was in Half Baked with Harlan Williams. Harlan Williams was in Freddie Got Fingered with Rip Torn. Rip Torn was in Dodgeball with Justin Long. Justin Long was in Accepted with Jonah Hill. And Jonah Hill was in This Is the End with Channing Tatum. All right, that's our connections for today. If you liked one more than the other, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Vote for your favorite. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more of us. And we'll see you next time.